The long-term sustainability of a data collection depends on whether the storage cost is affordable. It is necessary to continually migrate collections to cheaper storage. To determine the overall effectiveness of the data management infrastructure, cost reports are needed that track cost over time. Storage cost can be calculated by assigning a usage cost for each storage system. Cost factors would be assigned for number of files, size of files, amount of metadata. A cost report then multiplies the appropriate cost factor times the amount of usage and sums over the categories. A rule to calculate storage cost, test-cost.r, is shown here. The rule is available in LifeLab Zone Home, RW More Rules test-cost.r. The rule uses input parameters to assign a cost to three categories. Star fact size is the dollars per gigabyte of storage. Star fact count is the dollars per million files. Star fact meta is the dollars per million metadata attributes. For an accounting system, these costs would be charged per a time period, such as every month. Additional input parameters are used to identify your home collection, star src, the storage resource where the results will be saved, star res, and the location where the results will be saved, star rep. The rule checks the input collection locations and the storage resource and then creates a log file. A query is created to get the file size for all files in your home collection and subcollections. For each file, a query is created to count the number of metadata attributes. Totals are generated for number of files, file size, and number of metadata attributes across all files. The results are formatted and written into the log file. Instead of assuming a standard storage cost that is the same for all storage systems, the cost factors could be associated with each storage resource as a resource metadata. Attribute names can be created for the type of cost, and the attribute values can store the actual cost factors. Thus, meta resource adder name would be the cost size, meta resource adder value would be star fact size. Meta resource adder name cost file would have the meta resource adder value star fact count. Meta resource adder name would have cost meta with the meta resource adder value of star fact meta. As new storage systems are added, the associated cost factors can be associated with the new storage resource. To generate cost reports that use separate cost factors for each storage system, the rule test-cost.r would be modified to do a separate loop over each resource. Define a query to select the resource names. For each item in the list, extract the resource name, and then select the meta resource adder value, where the resource name is what was extracted, and the meta resource adder name was cost size. You can then loop over the result and extract the cost factor for fact size. You create a new loop selecting the meta resource adder value where resource name is star resource and meta resource adder name equal cost file. Extract that value. You can also do this for cost meta. You can then find the usage for the resource by multiplying these cost factors times the usage. The star fact size, star fact count, and star fact meta can be retrieved from each resource metadata and then used in the subsequent cost calculations. The query for usage would need to be modified. This example gets the number of files and the size of the files for each storage resource, then calculates a total cost by summing across all storage resources. This assumes the fact count and fact size have already been extracted as metadata from each resource. For a specified resource then, given the fact count and fact size, you can generate a total cost. The count for metadata would need to be done separately. Take 7 minutes and complete exercise 71. Calculate the total cost for storing your data summed over all storage resources. To find the storage cost, use the rule LifeLab Zone Home RW More Rules test-cost.r. Please load a paragraph describing your result into the Lifetime Library in the subcollection class INLS 624 by the end of today's class.